Well, hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting live edition of Un Poco Moss, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Of course, as you know, if the day ends in a Y, as it does today, coincidentally, we are covering the SOFI stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. The stock is flat on the day, which behooves the actual price action, which was very, very extreme. Um, we made a round trip here, guys. We are right back at the previous close was 737 again coming out of the sky. Big shout out to Payush, who's my main man down in Tennessee. He mentioned that last week. That was his hometown. That's a good CCR song. Anyway, guys, the SoFi stock is flat on the day, but it opened down and then it did an extreme sell off and triggered the stop losses down there at $7, all the way down to $6.97, and then the rebuy was quick and extreme. Pushed immediately back to 725 in like a matter of minutes, then 730. I was able to pick up some leaps um somewhere down in like the 715, 710, 715. I don't know exactly what the but the leaps didn't go down that much. I just don't think the market, the options market, had a lot of time to react. But of course, the algos were playing it. Um, Want to talk about the Q3 ER, of course, coming in 1 week from today, pre-market, so only four more trading days. Notice, guys, volume's up today, 22 million. Again, we're probably going to hit at least maybe 30 million shares today. Um, the volume coming back up is good. It's a bullish signal, in my opinion. The volume went really low there for a while, 17 million, 18 million. Got to a point where 21 million was like a big volume day. And if you remember, back in the heyday when the turds were really going after the stock, this stock would routinely trade 50, 60 million shares turning over in any given day. But guys, so much to talk about. Galileo has been putting out a lot of news, pushing into the business market, pushing into Latin America with further engaging with MasterCard, which is a great thing. They're doing more with employee benefits. They're engaging businesses and institutions themselves with the charge card expense account programs. So, I mean, these are small incremental things, but taken as the sum, I think the sum is greater than the, disparate parts, or however that phrase goes. Um, so I think Galileo's really on the right track, but I've been saying I'm gonna give them through 2024 to really kind of make the transition from a bit player to a significant company that can stand there and get contracts with some of these big banks, big institutions. They've been talking about bigger and bigger banks have been asking them for RFPs. It would be great to see them land one of those big contracts and that come out with this ER. I think that's one of the things that would send the stock up. There's just so many things to talk about, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. A couple people watching. Hello and welcome. What's up, guys? My two favorite gentlemen, Not a Lurker and Beach Boy. C Bar is here, who I guess in the comments is also CM Chang, C Bar Engineer, PF Chang, Private Investigator, your part-time lover. I don't know what else this guy does, but I don't know why smart people are, well, this guy owns an engineering company. Why are you watching this channel? You're so much smarter than me. By the way, it's Danny Vegas with you today. My twin brother, DannyDealz, is down with a explosive bout of diarrhea, so they flew me in on a PJ directly from Vegas, where I am probably one of the more successful sports gamblers and Texas Hold'em players that town's ever seen. But we wish DannyDealz the best. We hope he gets well soon. Stock Karen is making her special borscht that she makes. It cures all ailments. It has no seasoning. It's mostly just tepid dishwater. It seems like something they would feed you in like a gulag in Siberia. But yep, mechanical engineer. Those even I believe Anthony Noto is also his training was as a mechanical engineer. Where he graduated top of his class, United States Military Academy, and was also an All-American football player, I believe. Trained as an Army Ranger. Um, why are engineers watching me, guys? Poli sci econ. You know, don't have a clue. Maybe that's it because you already know the numbers, you already know the X's and O's, and you're just looking for a little jovial levity. Um, anyway, let's see. 2.8 GPA Long Beach. Okay, I had like 3.5 anyway. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty smart. I just didn't like. I thought it was pre med for a while, and then that was a joke, and then the whole thing just went sideways, guys. We find ourselves here. What can you do? But anyway, guys, hope everybody's having a great day today. I don't want to just ramble on and on forever, guys. Market cap is now down to like less than 3 times next year's sales. We're still growing the top line at 30%. What are the question marks, guys? What are the question marks? What do you think this ER is going to show? I have a few predictions up on the whiteboard. I don't think you guys can see it, but I'm looking for over 500,000 new members, and I think that number could be 600,000, but this is kind of my bear case. I'm looking for a minimum of 3.5 billion in bank deposit increases. I'm looking for Galileo accounts and revenues to both increase, and I'm looking for defaults to hold steady. And I'll tell you, turds, a couple of things. And why else would you be here if you didn't want to listen to my bullshit? Um, but Machine Shop Vagabond. Machine shops are awesome. I love machine shops. I wish I could do stuff like, you know, I had opportunities to learn stuff like fixing things and you know just I had an opportunity, but my attention span, as you can tell from my videos, is not all that it could be. Um, so anyway, guys, let's talk about why we're setting up for a pump and dump. Let's talk about what these turd brain analysts are bringing to the table, which is basically nothing. Let's talk about the myths, the facts, the legends, the FUD. Let's talk about SoFi, guys. So this is what happens. You remember a couple of days ago, it went out over the wire that David Chiaverini changed his rating from a sell to a hold, and but he didn't upgrade the price target, and he downgraded his earnings estimates for next year. And it's like it didn't even register anywhere. Like I've looked at a lot of different sites. Of course, TipRanks is the number one site that publishes all the analysts and rates the analysts and stuff. They're very analyst. They're very analysts focused. They're very focused on the analyst. However you want to say that, but they didn't even register that. I don't think he really did it. Like it's like a fake. It's like it's an ungrade. It's an invitation. And then you notice the turds, the anonymous turds, kind of coming out of the woodwork. The KBW, an ungrade from he ungraded from a sell, I think, to a hold. And I don't know if they lowered the price target or raised it from like 650 to 750 or something, but it's an ungrade. Like the price target is still kind of flat. And then the unknown analyst. This guy's one of my favorites, the unknown analyst. It's like the masked magician or dating in the dark or, you know, you know how it is, guys. But these turds always come out of the woodwork. So Truist reiterated, like, this guy's legit. You can actually see his face. He looks like somebody you could probably trust. He's at $16, solid 5-star analyst, one of the top analysts. And then Danny Dolev, who was pounding the table in defense of SoFi's lending capacity not long ago. He's at 15. So what do you see right after that? You see the Chia Pet come. You see KBW come. You see UBS come. That's why I think they're setting us up for a pump and dump here, guys, because a dump and pump doesn't make sense to me right now because they're increasing the short, guys, down here in the sevens. Like they don't want retail to buy. Look what they just did, guys. This is a capitulation event. Let's take a look at the goddamn charts. What are we doing, guys? We're rambling. We're getting nowhere. What else is new? It's Unpo. I'm giving you like almost zero. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get Poco Moss down to the point that I give you absolutely nothing, but it's not easy. It's not hard to ramble for, 20, 30 minutes and make absolutely no points. But guys, look at these candles. Like the volume here, that one 300,000 in that candle, 250,000, 300,000, 630,000 shares traded that minute, okay, to push this thing down and trigger that stop loss below $7. This is an extinction event. This is killing weak-handed retarders. They're pushing all the weak-handed retarders out of the stock, and then the market makers are buying the stock here. How does it make sense for them to short the stock directly after this event without pushing it back up? Because they don't want you to buy. They want you to sell. That's the whole deal. And then they're buying here. They're loading for a reason. They want you to buy way up here. They're going to push this stock up. It's like they can make the ER say whatever they want it to say. I think they're setting us up for I think the ER is going to look very similar to what it looked like last quarter, and I think the market makers are setting us up for the same thing. I think dumb retarders are going to load up on those short-term options, um, and market makers are going to take it for one last ride. I mean, they're not covering. They're clearly not afraid of this ER. They're clearly not afraid of this ER. And that's what brings me to my crazy Ivan theory. Um, Remember, guys, this is Anthony Noto's first like real gig as a CEO. I mean, he was CFO of the NFL, he was CFO and had a couple positions at Twitter, and he was very high up at Goldman Sachs in terms of being an analyst. I think he did some IPO stuff, and his resume is long and storied. But this is his first real time taking the helm, and I think he is extremely cautious and conservative, just to a little bit of our detriment. Like there's I like the conservative approach. I like the lending standards. I like the reserve ratios. But if you start to look at how they make money, you have to push the envelope a little bit, guys. I mean, we're not pushing the envelope. We're trying to keep defaults basically at zero. We're trying to keep our standards extraordinarily high, and I've always been a fan of that. But I need this ER to start showing that EBITDA growth again. I need to see us getting closer to that net profit, or I don't think the market is going to believe that it's going to happen in Q4. We're not getting any crazy Ivans. What is Zach's? What is the Zach score? What are they always looking for? They're looking for an earnings surprise. And Anthony Noto is like the least surprising guy in the world. Like he tells you the number, he knows exactly what the numbers are going to be. He shaves a tiny bit off, tells it to you, delivers this incremental beat. But the last couple quarters, guys, it's the EPS is going nowhere, the EBITDA is going nowhere. And they've been emphasizing member growth, deposit growth, which is great. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's, you can either grow or you can make profit, and those two things are in conflict. So I think they've done a beautiful job balancing them out. Um, High end of guidance was looking for like 31, 32% top line growth this year, which is really excellent. The fact that, the valuation is still coming in like 3x next year's sales, there's nothing Noto can do about that. And that's the point. Why is this stock being held down still, you know, below the SPAC level? Financial services is a great industry. It's great margins. Even the banks, like they make 30% margins over time. A very wise man told me that yesterday. But why stay away from the alternatives? And why invest in SoFi at this valuation? Um, it's two. It's more than two things. It's growth. It's leadership. It's that 30% margin that they can actually get to. But going back to the crazy Ivans, the earnings surprise. Like, look at the companies that get big valuations like Palantir. Like their CEO looks a little bit crazy. Like when you see Noto in the windbreaker with the hair, with the Botox, with the facial skin perfect treatments, looking just, like he could have played Ken. If Ryan Gosling was not available, they could have brought in Anthony Noto. That's what Danny Vegas says. We have to wake up DannyDealz and see what he thinks. I don't know if Noto can act. He's very like sort of monotone. He's like, adjusted EBITDA has grown for 7 quarters in a row. It's like, has it? Went from 70 to 71 to 77. Where's the growth? 0 to 40 to 70 to 70 to 70. That is not a game of leapfrog I want to play. Who is here with us, guys? Um, who do we got? Smurfy Good Times. Hello, Smurfy. The ether between us. God, again, so many engineers. I admire you guys. Um, what's going on, guys? Um, can't listen at work. Hi, I appreciate you always watching whenever you get the opportunity, not a lurker. Alberto, what's up, guys? Yeah, 699. Wow. That's nice that you even had that in. Like I was not predicting that move. I had to rush and just buy a few options on my SoFi app. I wasn't at my computer. I wasn't even ready for them to just go after the stock. What's up, Hybrid Duncan? What's up, Kareem? What's up, Beach Boy? Not a lurker. Alberto. What's up, Alberto? So going back to what I was talking about, like people see the CEO and they think, okay, Anthony Noto really does look like a bank CEO, and Karp really looks like the CEO of some creative, dynamic growth company. Now, you forget that SoFi is growing at 30% and Palantir is growing at 13%. But who gets the growth valuation? Guys, this doesn't make me angry. Calm down. Guys, take it down 1,000. I don't know why you guys are getting so upset in the comments. I see the I see you about to have an infarction in the comments, guys, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned about you guys. Don't get upset. What's the point? But then you see like a Tesla. I mean, everybody's been railing against Elon Musk, but like, 1 month Elon Musk is the biggest genius in the history of the world. The other time he's, biggest fool for buying whatever it is. But the point is he's unpredictable. It's crazy Ivans. The market expects a surprise. With Noto, the market makers feel like they can completely toy with the stock because they know what's coming. They can run this pump and dump because they can make retarders think the ER was great, or they can make them think it was bad the minute it comes out. They can just highlight different aspects. Like if the EPS is bad, but bank deposits are great, they can highlight one or the other, vice versa, just depending on what they want to do with the stock in order to pick your money. And they will even take your socks. Um, if you have like some nice ones. But anyway, guys, I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I don't even know where I'm going with this live stream. I just been working for several hours diligently, and I was getting very, very bored. So I thought I'd check in with you turds, take your temperature. Dr. Bendover's here to take the temperature of the market. But even like a Warren Buffett, like now Warren Buffett normally invests in railroads and, like US Bank and these very sort of like pipeline stocks, and of course Apple. We had a huge Apple position for many, 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 many years. Made a ton of money on that. I don't know exactly what the current portfolio makeup is, but even they went in early into like BYD in China is an electric vehicle maker, and they're about to pass Tesla as the biggest EV maker in the world. And Buffett was there early. And again, a very wise man yesterday was telling me that Berkshire was in early on NeoBank. And they're probably a little bit down on that investment. But the point is, even the most predictable people do unpredictable things and make unpredictable investments. And it's like with SoFi, we have to have the net profit because the way the market looks at Noto, it's just the guy is just too predictable. And he's tipping his hand. He's always telling what's going to happen, but then some of these things, like I remember, I think Noto tweeted that covered calls were coming with that had to be 6 9 months ago. I can't remember exactly. I go back, but like, where is the innovation? Where are the surprises? Like, so I was trying to think in my head, like, what else can you invest in this sector? Why don't you invest in something like a Bank of America, which just, put in a good earnings report, which was full of all kinds of red flags and pitfalls that just weren't reflected in the numbers. But if you go to the unrealized section, they're really fucked. But anyway, like, okay, look at something like PaySafe, which is a horrible stock I used to be in and go in and out of, and I've been making some money on it lately. But you look at something like that for like an extreme value that's just been cut down 90% and still, has certain merit. Then you look at something like a PayPal, which is a mature company with cash flow. They also have some growth potential, new direction. And then you look at something like a NeoBank, which is just growing off the charts, but it's fraught with risk because of regulatory issues and governmental issues in Latin America. You have SOFI moving into Latin America. So why continue to put money into SOFI at these levels or whatever levels you decide to? I'm just speaking for myself, guys. I'm not giving you financial advice because I don't know anything. You guys are all engineers. You guys should be giving me advice. What are you guys buying? You're probably buying, something intelligent like semiconductors or, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are buying, but you're probably not buying what I'm buying. So what else do I have written on the whiteboard? I completely forgot. Um, so basically, like, if you look at stability looking forward, Nodo's great. But when something is predictable, it can be sort of manipulated. Everybody wants to use that word manipulated. They set up the Chiaverini dump. They set up that pump after the last ER. Do you guys believe that it wasn't like coordinated and set up that they moved the stock from, 950 to 1150 in like a few minutes and then drop it back down to 7, and they're just making money off emotional retarders. And this brings me to the concept of the false float, guys. Please hammer the false float. If you're not trying to trade the ER, take your shares off the table. Like, this is why I think the statistics of this thing are deceptive and shorts could get into trouble, because a lot of retail people have these shares locked up long term, much like an institution. So that's why I believe there's a false float. That's why I believe the free float is a lot. The technical definition, where all the returner shares are in the free float. I think a lot of those shares are locked up. Now we need more shares really locked up with pension funds, with the Fidelities, with the BlackRocks. Let's see who's here, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to get through a few of my notes, and then you guys are probably talking to each other about intelligent things, engineering, rocket propulsion, flubber, things like that. But okay, so we're talking about Galileo. Why would a company acquire SoFi? A lot of people said, oh, people were speculating Goldman Sachs is going to acquire SoFi. Um, Apple's going to acquire they think every stock I'm in, people think Apple's going to acquire that stock. Like Apple's going to buy Neo. Apple's going to buy SoFi. Apple wants to do their own thing, guys, and they just partner with stupid companies like Goldman Sachs. Because hey, can you breathe life into our Marcus product? No. No, that product's dead. Nobody can breathe life into that corpse. Once Noto left Goldman, all the energy was out. Now their guy just goes to raves. I think their CEO decided he was going to quit the rave scene and just focus on being CEO of the company so he could bring some shareholders value back. Because, boy, those Goldman executives get into a lot of trouble. What's up, Hybrid Duncan? Yeah, I got some sleep actually. I slept till like 6 a.m. today. It was great. I never do that. Usually wake up like 4 in the morning. Um, bought more leaps. Yeah, I did too. I didn't get it quite at 7, but I got it like 7:10. So I got a pretty good deal. I have to look back. I don't even know what I was frantically on the app, like trying to buy some leaps on my SoFi app. Um, yeah, that was the point, Hockey Rink. That was the point. Why do you think they do it then? Nobody's up, nobody's ready, nobody can react except the market makers. They clean your clock. They stop everybody out at 7, and then they buy the shares right back up to 7. That's them. They're just it is what it is, guys. They're setting it up. They're setting up another big every earnings. This thing does some big funky, chicken dance, and it basically kicks retail right in both testicles every single time. And you just have to do the opposite. Retail is starting to either ignore these big moves or trade them properly. I mean, that's the key. That's people like they're manipulating, but they can only manipulate who allows themselves to be manipulated. Okay? If you don't go in on FOMO and set dumb stop losses and sell on fear, panic sell when they drive the stock down, you're like, why is the stock going down so much? Why? Why? And people are like, well, it's defaults. But the defaults haven't materialized yet. We haven't seen that yet. If we're going to see it. So, do we want to punish the stock and make our investment decisions based on things that are just pure speculation? Remember, the Chia Pet said, they're going to have to raise money by the end of the year on unfavorable terms, but touchdown Danny Dolev, his analysis completely disproves that. And read Fiorio's articles on Seeking Alpha. Read the people that actually know what they're talking about. And even the bears who use numbers are not trying to say SoFi needs to raise money this year, early next year. SoFi does not need to raise money. SoFi can sell their loans, and even if they don't, they can continue making more loans for the next year and a half. There's no issue, there's no liquidity issue, there's no cash issue. Absolutely, I mean, you can criticize SoFi on a number of levels. You can say, hey, did they overpay for these acquisitions? Are they giving too much stock-based compensation? Are they too conservative with their lending standards? Are they just too conservative in general? There's a lot of things, you could say. Should they be rolling out products faster? Should we have a full, suite of options and trading? Should the app evolve quicker? Should Galileo be contributing more already? Should we be putting pressure on those bastards out in Utah to actually produce? It's not an incubator. It's not a hub where we want to foster creativity like a small fetus. I want them to sell. That should be a mature product. Okay? We don't pay $1 billion+ and give these turds, CEOs, tens of millions of dollars in stock for free, those free super SPAC shares. I mean, those Chamath shares. I want some free SPAC shares. Why doesn't DannyDealz get 10 million shares for free? I want shares. I want free SPAC shares. I want to organize a SPAC. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to give me $250 million without knowing what they're going to invest in. Yeah, it's the DannyDealz blank check. It's DDZ. Like, give me 250 million. I'll buy something. Maybe I won't. Like Ackman, he's like, oh, just raise all the money. Can't do anything. We're going to create something new. We're going to SEC. Nope. Can't do it. No, I can't just take all this money and just move it around like a shell game wherever I want to, but I look like Mr. Rogers. I'm just so approachable. If I was any more approachable, I'd be in a, sweater vest with, I'd be in a sweater with leather elbow patches. It's like, give me a fucking break. These SPACs. I mean, SoFi was one of the only good ones. There's a few more, but God damn it. These guys just pulling so many shares out of the company, it hamstrings the company for a long time. It's dilution. Then you make these acquisitions. Guys, sorry, I don't mean to get down on SoFi, but it's a Monday. I have a case of the Mondays. You want any pizza shooters, pizza flingers? No, just coffee. It's like a case of the Mondays. God, Office Space. What a brilliant. If you work in an office, it's just a brilliant depiction of the dysfunction, the angst, God, what else? I don't know. I can't think of any other words to say. Um, Galileo's like a Trojan horse, guys. Galileo is going to allow SoFi to get their fingers in the door. They're going to pry the door open with big, medium sized financial institutions, credit unions, if they have the best of breed solution or one of them that they can actually sell. And that's what's yet to be proven. They're talking, I know these RFPs can take months or longer. I mean, they always take months, but they could take years to actually get a signature. But I think the average time till people put out an RFP until they actually like select a vendor is like 4 to 6 months. I don't think it's forever. So if Galileo's there, if they have this thing ready to go, number one, why are we not seeing the sales so far, and will we see them this quarter? And number two, why are we not seeing that innovation put into the SoFi app? Why don't we see full trading platforms? Why don't we see better integrate? I'm just not super impressed with the progress on the app. When dark mode. Where's that guy on Stock Twits who just writes when dark mode all the time? I love that guy. When dark mode. I don't know. And why do you spell it without the H? Like the Chasdeen hair cream. And it's not a shampoo, guys. Don't you can call Chasdeen's When hair cream a shampoo, because it's not a shampoo. There's no sulfates in there, motherfucker. You don't need sulfates. Trust me. Trust a guy with a man bun, this glorious man bun. And they don't even sell Sun in anymore, guys. You turds have to just squeeze lemon juice into your hair. When I was a kid, they had Sun in. Product you could squeeze on your head, had some acid, it burned your head, your hair fell out, and you had beautiful highlights. I'm sure that's not even legal today because it's full of Chinese lead, but God knows it was a great product. Guys, I digress. I'm kind of losing my train of thought as usual. Hey Tom, sailing cheese too. You guys, where do you guys come up with these names? Sailing cheese. Um, Probably go to 112 pump dump using go to a dollar 1 to 12. I'm not sure what you guys are telling. I'm missing half the conversation. Anyway, what else were in my notes? Shartmaster, Toper trades. Why the shorts attack SoFi? Power structure, big banks, Wall Street. They see SoFi moving into IPOs. That's why I view Galileo as the Trojan horse. If SoFi is going to get acquired at a great price, it's going to be because one of these big banks, one of these big institutions, one of these big tech companies sees the vision, they see the writing on the wall, and they see what this company could be in 5 years. And for me, the critical element there is Galileo. How Galileo not only sells to outside vendors, changes the entire banking and fintech industry, but how does it change SoFi? They're talking about, I think, 70 million in cost savings per year starting in like 2025, and I think there's going to be 40 billion in cost savings. They're just changing SoFi over to Galileo. And that's why people are, like myself, like the huge Karens out there, we're so impatient. We want these RFPs to come in, we want these big sales to come in right now, but it took like 2 years just to change SoFi to Galileo. Just the credit cards, the banks, all this stuff. It does not happen overnight. It's very highly regulated. If you're talking about, changing over your entire backbone of what your bank or your credit union or whatever runs on, and then you're talking about everything interface now is the phone, the app. With older people like myself, we're still using, PCs, personal computers for you kids who don't know what that is and get all your information on Snapchat, like the tweens that you are. But anyway, Galileo is just what differentiates this company. It really is the secret sauce. That and Nodo, the cross-selling, the loop, like all of this relies on Galileo turning out good, compelling products, a good UI. People are gonna have options, guys. SoFi is not the only. Now they do have a unique position with the bank charter, but other banks are going to catch up. Other banks are going to, they're of course already seeing the deposit and customer flight. They're panicking. That's why I'm hoping they're going to go to Galileo. They're going to see not only is this a great bank, not only are they achieving great results with their loans, they could whip SoFi's credit card business into shape. SoFi could be a free cash flow machine for some other company. Um, that just has a little more freedom, doesn't need to be quite as conservative because they're not, such a small player with, basically, I'm not saying there's money pressure, but it's not like SoFi can just throw the floodgates open and just grow as fast as they possibly could. SoFi's growth has been very measured, again, very conservative, but Galileo is really the key differentiator of this company, guys. I mean, yes, the product loop, yes, the lending, I think student loans are going to be huge next year, honestly. I think people are going to be in a little bit of shock at their payments. They're going to want to extend their loan terms. I mean, that's the trend in the auto industry. people are getting these like 84-month loans. I just think extending it out, and then people are going to basically assume they can refi once interest rates come back down. And I think that benefits SoFi. It keeps the customer at SoFi. Pardon me, guys. And it keeps them buying multiple products. The cross selling has barely started. Pardon me, guys. Frog in my throat. Ribbit. The cross selling has barely started. The cost savings have not been realized from Galileo. Galileo has not landed these big customers, which I'm fairly confident they will. I think Noto knew what he was buying when he bought Galileo and Technesis, and I don't think it has to necessarily be the very best of all their competitors because they do so much. It's the holistic product. It's not, I don't think everything needs to be the extreme of innovation. I don't think that's what most people are looking for. Most people want innovation, but they want safety, they want security, they want familiarity. That's what people like about the SoFi app. It's easy to use, it integrates with your life, it integrates with your other banks, it integrates with, basically how young people want to handle their money and how young people want to get their money right. And SoFi is making certain decisions about the app, about their growth. And again, it's very, very measured. I think we're going to see that on the next ER, but I think the growth story is what's important. Deposit growth, member growth, product growth, and you want to see products growing, outgrowing basically members. You want, because you need more products, more revenue per member. So um you started to see this like last quarter. You had member growth of you know 5.65 to 2.25. So you had basically 600,000 new members roughly, and then you had 900,000 new products. And you just start to see cross selling. It's very, very slow and it's very frustrating, but it's starting. Now, a lot of the products they cross sell or they would cross sell that are the most profitable, like student loans, mortgage loans, those have basically been dead. So it's been heavily reliant on these personal loans, and it's been a very, very good business because you charge a high interest rate on personal loans. They're very profitable loans as long as they don't go bad. I mean, that's basically the pitfall is that's the one big red flag to look out for in this ER is I wouldn't worry if Galileo's down. I know people freak out. I know it'll be another reason to attack the stock after the pump perhaps. But what you really have to watch out for is these personal loans are so much of SoFi's balance sheet that if they start to lose their value rapidly, the company is going to be in trouble. I don't think that's going to happen because they have stuck to those extremely conservative, stringent lending standards. And in this economy, with the high interest rates, with other banks defaulting, this is where those decisions are going to pay off, and impatient Karens like me are going to be proven wrong yet again. Happens every time, guys. But you saw again, UBS. This is why I think it's gonna set up for the unexpected. You start to get these analyst downgrades. They don't want people to buy the stock down at 7. They want you to buy the stock when they pump it up to 10.50 or 11 or whatever it's going to be after the ER. They'll go short. They'll short heavily. They'll attack the stock. And I think it's going to look essentially what it looked like last time. I was looking for a dump and pump, but they're not moving the stock in advance of the ER, and I just people like, oh, it's got a lot of downside, like 4. I'm not seeing it. Not if the profit story holds up that in Q4 because that's basically what management's going to say. That's the guidance. I mean, that's really what matters. Yes, the numbers this year, if they can, again, increase their EBITDA estimates and stuff like that, that's important. Increase the revenue, the top line, that would be very nice. Give us some surprises as far as the student loans in Q3. If those were higher than expected, that would be great. But really, what everybody wants to hear is that the Q4 profit is going to be there. That's the story, guys. That's the story on this one. Does Noto come out and say, yes, we are going to make that gap net profit in Q4? If he does, the Chia Pet, downward revision estimates of 4 cents in Q4 2024 are going to look silly because student loans should pick back up. a lot of things look really good in 2024 as far as SOFA. This company is finally together as a unit and is going to be able to operate as a team rather than these, disparate parts where you have your checking account partner over here and you're doing your brokerage through here and your credit card, you have to partner with this bank over here. It's all going to be SoFi. We're going to start to realize those cost savings from Galileo and Technesis. And yes, we paid a lot, but over time, if they're long term, if you're talking about long term, discounted free cash flow models, that is going to pay off huge. It's going to be huge. Um, Sailing cheese. Uh, we are the people 11. Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, that sounds better than one to me, sailing cheese. Thank you. Horserino, hello. What's up, Horserino? Hybrid Duncan, $15. Yeah, we'd all love that. Baltimate, hello. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. That was really all I wanted to get to today. If anybody else wants to cover anything, I didn't really do too much with the charts. You know, these charts are like, it's just not that useful. As long as it's in this channel, we're okay. Let's pull this back a little bit and just see where we're at. I mean, that was my channel, guys. Obviously, it dipped down below. Um, I don't think that's a big deal because that was an attack. Like the shorts today, they're saying they returned some shares, but the short really took an uptick there, say October 6th over that weekend, October 10. We're going from the 12s to the 13s. And days to cover was all the way down like in the ones, and now again it's pushing back up to almost three. So I don't think they're gonna go. Why would they short here and then attack the stock and push it low? I mean, it just doesn't compute for me. But if you guys, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to stay very agile. I'm going to keep some cash on the sidelines and just keep my eye on this price action this week because they could still pump it this week, guys. I mean, the market's, the overall market is actually up. The Nasdaq is up almost 1% or 110 points. Even the S&P is up just, a tiny fraction, but we have a triple bottom, guys. If the stock responds up off this last move, of course, rejected, like I said, numerous times from the 50-day moving average, but I don't know. It just doesn't look too bad. I don't see any reason to panic. Management hasn't come out and given any warnings. Basically management has only raised and beaten, and I don't see any reason to believe that they're going to do anything different this time. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic, tepidly bullish. No, I'm feeling totally bullish on the SoFi stock from this level, guys. Now if it was going into the ER at 950 like it was last time, people are like, well, it's in the same channel, but remember, last time it was at the very top of the channel, guys. This time it's at the very bottom of the channel, and last time it still pumped. So maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's the Chia Pet, maybe it's the Chia Pet dump all over again. It could do that too, but you just have to stay agile and, if you're worried, hedge a little bit. Hedge with some options, but I don't know. Long term, I just haven't seen any reason to panic on the SoFi stock. And I think, a lot of the shorts are just weak handed turd douchebags. And I just have, I don't hate them, but I just have no respect for them because I think their case is just basically that the loans are going to go bad, that SoFi, and it's just not happening. It's just a fiction. So I like to read about stocks in the nonfiction section, look at the actual numbers, look at the actual growth, listen to management, look at data. And, the Chia Pets and the bologna sandwiches and the KBWs and the US Bank unknown analysts that are just his photo looks like a gray picture of like the smoking man in X-Files. You know, these guys operate in the fiction section and they just make things up and they say this is going to happen at the end of the year. SoFi is going to have to raise money because everything's going to go bad. They do that with some like boilerplate legalese note at the end of their ER. It's like so fucking stupid, but people are stupid and people react and people do what the market makers want them to do, and it allows them to clean retail's clock. People sell the dip and smell the rip, and retail takes advantage. They short when they should. They play the options. They make money off of us about 800 different ways. But again, you can only be manipulated if you allow yourself to be manipulated. if it pumps insanely, sell a few shares if you want. Trade them back down. I mean, this is not a stock that goes up 20-25% overnight and then holds that, guys. This is valued like a bank. It's valued very conservatively, even though the price action moves around a lot. It's not valued like a Palantir or a CrowdStrike or one of these high flying companies that gets those huge multiples from the street. Anyway, it's your guy on the street. It's DannyDealz. Ticker symbol is Toper. It's a Toper time check, guys. It's October 23rd, 2023. It's 12:11 p.m. Want to send a huge and I love you out to Princess J and her little buddy Cutie. Wow, what a great family unit. Couldn't ask for better. What a lucky guy I am. In so many respects, guys. Maybe I wasn't born, with the six-pack abs or the model good looks, but I'm blessed with a wonderful woman and a great acumen for stock investing. And frankly, that's better than being one of you smart engineers because Princess J is super smart. She's a biochem major. I'm a poli sci major. So if you kind of see how that intelligence dynamic works in our relationship, it's not in my favor, but it works for me because I can leave all the smart book learning to her, and I can just do the Max, the Charlie Kelly style wild card. Like no, I'm the looks, you're the brains, he's the wild card. No, I'm the brains and the looks, and you're the wild card. Oh, I miss those early. It's Always Sunny. What a great show that was, guys. We got Versa tennis clips. Hard to see dumping. Yeah, that's was exactly what I'm saying, Versa. I mean, I thought they were going to pump it these last couple of weeks, but what do you know? I'm completely wrong again. Shocker. Wait, no. I mean, DannyDealz was wrong. His twin brother, Danny Vegas, is always right, as you know, by his sports betting. I've been banned from both the Rio, the Continental Hotel, Terribles. I've been banned from the Horseshoe. I was banned from the El Cortez, all for my sports betting acumen. They just don't want none of my action. Yeah, kitten mittens, you'll be smitten. Is your cat small, large, or medium size? Is your cat making too much noise? Like, you have to try kitten mittens. You'll be smitten. And the cat just walks off and just falls off the coffee table. It's absolute classic. And they're like, whenever the Sunny Gang is like pitching investment ideas or talking to lawyers or something, it's just some great stuff. Was Frank pitching like an egg at one point? It's like stress egg. Like stuff just made absolutely no sense. But what a group! What a motley crew, guys. I'm going to let you guys get on with your day. I have some work to do. I am going to go see if the beautiful Princess J can join me for lunch. It all depends on her busy schedule. God knows I'm free. I'm talking to you, turds, aren't I? But guys, it's un Poco Moss. It's the SOFI stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. And we have 1 week to earnings. I'll check in with you guys in a couple days. We'll see what happens. Let's hope we don't break down to 731. So they're hitting it again, guys. It's like Hans Gruber said in Die Hard. He's like, you made your point, Hans. He's like, thank you, cowboy. Hit it again. It's like, huh? Like, hit it again. Like, oh. Remember when he confronted him at the elevator? He's like pretending to be Bill Clay. He's like, oh, you're one of them. You're one of them. It was a great actor. I know that guy recently died of cancer. Who played Hans Gruber. He was a really good actor. He's like, relax, Bill. Have a cigarette, man. He's like, thank God. He's like really bad accent. He's like got a German. He's like carrying a machine. Well, you got a submachine gun there, Bill. You working in advertising. Don't need a submachine gun. Like, oh. Anyway, guys, I don't know where I'm going with that Die Hard reference, but just kind of thought of it and the mind, it wanders. You guys have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching. You are now free to flip.